may be the badass, but tonight Bron Breakker is going to need a tag team partner as he goes 2v2 against the Rated R Superstar Edge and the future of flight, Ricochet. But last week, Breakker threw out the challenge, and Edge has accepted. And coming up in just 15 nights at WrestleMania, for the first time ever, the iconoclast, the badass, Edge, Bron Breakker, one-on-one at the grandest stage of them all. Momentum's going to be riding on the line later tonight in your main event. We're live in the Paycom Center, OKC. And not only is tag team action headlining the card, but it is opening up tonight as well. It is the final first round matchup in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on the road to WrestleMania.
The following is scheduled for one fall on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 365 pounds. Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, Legado del Fantasma.
Let us take a look at the bracket thus far that has taken place over the last few weeks. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders have all moved on to the semifinals next week here on SmackDown. But who is going to join them as the fourth and final team? Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde trying to meet their Legado, or I shall say their Latino World Order, their LWO brothers in the semifinals. But first they got to try to get through Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And although the experience in the tag team division is on the LWO side, Theory and Waller known to use any tactic they possibly can to get some victory. Going to be a very interesting contest as the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic continues here on SmackDown. And of course, all of these teams looking to make their way to the finals on WrestleMania Sunday and duke it out for the brand new WWE Tag Team Championship exclusive to Friday Night SmackDown.
And their opponents, first from Sydney, Australia, weighing in at 206 pounds, Grayson Waller.
Well, the road to WrestleMania rolls through Atlanta, Georgia in just 24 hours. We will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for a special Raw and SmackDown production of Saturday night's main event. State Farm Arena is going to be rocking on the road to WrestleMania. Already signed from Monday Night Raw, the Royal Rumble match winner Kevin Owens teams up with the best in the world, CM Punk, to take on the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as the WWE Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. That is coming your way tomorrow night in this man's hometown of Atlanta. But tonight, Austin Theory takes his talents down the aisle here at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory.
You know, Austin Theory is finding himself in a similar situation than he did 12 months ago. You remember Austin Theory was really struggling to find his way onto the card last year at WrestleMania. Ultimately challenged the returning Cody Rhodes, and it led to success for Theory at the Show of Shows. This year, Austin Theory failed to win the Royal Rumble matchup, failed to win the Elimination Chamber, and somebody at Austin Theory who is challenging on multiple occasions in 2023 for the World Heavyweight Championship once again finds himself. Roads are thinning on the road to WrestleMania. But tonight is that last opportunity for Austin Theory as well as Grayson Waller to move one step closer. This is your final first round matchup in the SmackDown side of the 2024 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Winners move on to take on Eric and Ivar next week. And here we go. We are hot on the heels of Saturday night's main event tomorrow night, and we're opening up SmackDown with a doozy. Cruz del Toro hot out of the gate, and you should expect nothing less. Two amazing cruiserweight talents who have challenged for tag team gold in the past, looking to make their way to the grandest stage of them all, and their road could start here tonight. As we mentioned, as you saw in the bracket, Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, the other two men of Latino World Order who have been in this tournament so far, already making their way to the semifinals by defeating Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo of Los Lotharios 2 weeks ago. They will take on Chad Gable and Otis of Alpha Academy next week, but these two teams duking it out for certainly not the most pleasant prize, a meeting with Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders. So far, Cruz del Toro with a firecracker under him tonight. Joaquin Wilde now the legal competitor. Austin Theory trying to create some distance between himself as this cruiserweight talent, but Joaquin Wilde quicker than a cat. Beautiful maneuver off the double knees, going for the early pinfall there, and as great as a maneuver and great talent that Joaquin Wilde is, going to take a lot more to keep Austin Theory down. Theory very familiar with making his way through tournaments. Of course, last year he was the 2023 King of the Ring winner. Now looking to find himself a finalist in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and that road could start here tonight. WWE Tag Team Championships on the other side for the winners at WrestleMania. It's Grayson Waller getting tagged in, and Joaquin Wilde, and his momentum coming to a screeching halt. The Aussie icon going for the cover, and Joaquin Wilde not even going to allow a 1 count that time. I'll tell you what, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory willing to use any tactic possible to get the victory tonight, but Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde built a little differently. We have seen them go to distance with some of the best, and willing to fight through the pain if it means coming out on the other side with championship glory. Joaquin Wilde, pinfall situation here. Waller in trouble. Not going to work out just yet, but a great maneuver and counter by Wilde moments ago. Grayson Waller trying to ground the high-flying competitor, and that is going to be best-case scenario for the man from A-Town as well as the Aussie icon here tonight. Worst-case scenario is showing off to the crowd and not paying attention to Latino World Order. Cruz del Toro coming in, both men going high risk. It only goes high reward for one man, and that is Austin Theory. Well, it's going to be a great night of action here on SmackDown. You already saw the massive tag team main event on your way. Who is going to line with Bron Breakker later tonight? We will find out. Also still to come here tonight in OKC, the Women's World Champion's #1 contender, Raquel Rodriguez. Her momentum has skyrocketed as of late. She has been challenged to a rematch against Zoe Stark, who she took on a number of weeks ago. Stark looking to build her own momentum here on SmackDown. Going to take on Raquel Rodriguez later tonight here in OKC. Should be very interesting to see what happens there on the road to WrestleMania. We are just 15 days away from our trip to Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium. All these SmackDown teams duking it out for top contendership in the finals, and the tag team titles will be on the line. What a maneuver by Cruz del Toro. Great strength and great agility. Combination. Maneuver starting to stack up, and Austin Theory's back, maybe back against the wall. Del Toro scaling the ropes, looking for a picture-perfect finish. Frog splash from the heavens that Eddie Guerrero would be proud of. But Austin Theory gets the shoulder up, and you gotta believe LWO one step closer to victory here tonight on SmackDown. Cruz del Toro sending Theory to the outside. Austin Theory skinning the cat. Cruz del Toro is really picking up some big momentum there. Did not work out in his favor, and Austin Theory is now looking to turn the tables. It may have been the best-ditch effort by LWO. Cruz del Toro getting dropped on his crown. Austin Theory now looking to be the one that stacks the offense. Oh, here we go. Bozo Buster, if you will. Del Toro face first off the canvas. Joaquin Wilde still had his feet underneath of him, but LWO's WrestleMania dreams almost went up in smoke. And Theory, no waste in motion. You got to give credit to Theory. He's been a lot more focused as of late inside of that ring. One thing we have talked about with Theory is even though he has had some great success in his young career, he has gotten in his own way a lot in big-time situations, and there you see a little bit of maturity coming out of Austin Theory. Did not get the pinfall off the combination, no waste in motion, immediately went to pick up on the offense. Got to give credit where credit's due. Now a tag made to the Aussie icon, Grayson Waller, who's looking to continue to beat down on Cruz del Toro, who has been in this matchup for a number of minutes, and now is feeling the worst of both of his opposers. I'll tell you what, I'm sure Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar of the LWO would love to get in the ring with their LWO brothers at WrestleMania and duke it out for not only the Dusty Cup, but for the tag team titles. But that may be a fever dream if Theory and Waller spell the end of Del Toro and Wild's road here tonight. Oh, look at that by Cruz Del Toro. Nice little rollout to get Grayson Waller off his back. And a tornado DDT. The high-flying style, the cruiserweight offense of the LWO is what may bring them to the promised land. Waller getting dropped on the back of his dome into the bridge, but unfortunately, no 3 count to be found. Oh, but Grayson Waller, his back up against the wall this time. And Cruz Del Toro, his wheels are still spinning. The ever-exciting corkscrew to the outside. LWO is rising like a phoenix here in OKC. Joaquin Wilde getting tagged in. Grayson Waller did his homework. And a big-time ripcord elbow. Look at Wilde. Trying to absorb the punishment the best he can. LWO trying to keep this match at a fever pitch. Grayson Waller kicking out. We cannot let that kick out that time by Grayson Waller affect the psyche. LWO's got to keep this going here. I'll tell you what, that might have been a mistake trying to fight in enemy territory. Grayson Waller taking things to the outside. I do not like this. Joaquin Wilde getting smashed at ringside, knee first. You take out the legs, you take out the high-flying ability. Grayson Waller willing to fight dirty on the road to WrestleMania. And of course, WrestleMania coming your way in just 15 nights. It all kicks off. Saturday night, March the 2nd, Sunday night, March the 3rd, double live premiere events at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The grandest stage of them all, looking to be as big as it ever been. Well, only one of these teams could even have the chance to make their way to the semifinals, and it may be Theory and Waller, as Joaquin Wilde may have a broken nose. Or not just yet. The resilience, the heart of the LWO. And I'll credit that kick out as well to the fact that Cruz Del Toro wrestled the majority of this matchup so far. Not a lot of offense on Joaquin Wilde from the opposers. Theory might have thrown his best shot. And if Joaquin Wilde survived, what's left in the tank? Maybe just a vicious backbreaker, keeping it simple yet effective. Gotta wonder, Eric and Ivar last week, they got through the Imperium in the finals. I should say in the main event of the first round. Taking down Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Gotta wonder anything going through their minds if there's one or two of these teams they would rather face in the semifinals, whether it be the LWO, whether it be Theory and Waller. Either way, we know they're going to fight to a bitter end, as Joaquin Wilde looking for a surprise finish, not just yet. And this Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic has been off the charts over the last 3 weeks here on SmackDown. Semifinals coming your way next week. Winners will go to WrestleMania. But tonight, the final first-round matchup. And will it be the LWO? Will it be Theory and Waller? Another reversal there as Joaquin Wilde was trying to come alive, but Theory once again dropping him right on his crown. And Austin Theory's going for the victory. Will that be the knockout blow? It is. An unfortunate ending to LWO's great efforts here tonight. But Joaquin Wilde and Cruz Del Toro knocked out in the first round. And Austin Theory may be on his way to winning a back-to-back tournament in a sense. 2023, he was the King of the Ring winner. Alongside Grayson Waller, he is one step closer to the finals of the Dusty Cup at WrestleMania.
Here are your winners, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
You may not like them, but you gotta respect the efforts of those two young talents. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, their rise continues here on SmackDown. As we take a look at the updated bracket, our semifinals are set for next week. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic sees Rey Mysterio and Alpha Academy battling it out, as well as the Viking Raiders taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
We're still standing.
We're back live at the Paycom Center here in OKC on Friday Night SmackDown, and about to be joined by the Cruiserweight Champion of the World, the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov. Dragunov's road to WrestleMania temporarily unclear, but with a Cruiserweight division full of potential challengers, you gotta believe everybody's chomping at the bit to take on the Mad Dragon at the grandest stage of them all.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 187 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion Ilja Dragunov.
And the road to WrestleMania rolls through State Farm Arena, Atlanta tomorrow night. It is Saturday night's main event, headlined by CM Punk and Kevin Owens, set to meet Shinsuke Nakamura and the WWE Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. An all-star collision from Raw, and also coming your way from the Red Brand, the #1 Contenders Eliminator, to see who challenges LA Knight for the Intercontinental Gold at WrestleMania. Tommaso Ciampa and Sami Zayn making their way to the finals. They will clash in the main event tomorrow night in Atlanta, Georgia. All that action and more coming your way live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, just 24 hours. Saturday night's main event gonna be off the charts on the road to the show of shows at WrestleMania. But Ilja Dragunov, the Cruiserweight Champion of the World, one of the faces of Friday Night SmackDown, awaiting his WrestleMania challenger, and a victory from his opponent tonight could easily proclaim the #1 contender for the championship gold.
And his opponent from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 183 pounds, Wes Lee.
Wes Lee taking on Ilja Dragunov tonight, and Lee picked up a huge victory recently on SmackDown, taking down the always mysterious and always exciting Axiom, very physical contest a few weeks back. And Wes Lee tonight, one-on-one with the champion himself, and the gold may not be on the line, but opportunity as always is. Certainly a victory over the Mad Dragon could easily put Wes Lee at the front of the line for a Cruiserweight Championship match. All remains to be seen, and it is certainly easier said than done, taking down a man who thrives off pain and punishment in between the ropes. Ilja Dragunov, of course, the winner of the 2023 Cruiserweight Classic Tournament, which propelled him to Survivor Series last year, where he kicked off his reign as the Cruiserweight Champion. He's defended the gold ever since, not once but twice, over the Irish Ace, J.D. McDonough. Took on Nathan Frazier a few months back as well. But now Ilja Dragunov looks to focus on the remainder of the Cruiserweight division. He may have knocked down a few barriers so far, but still a lot of hungry challengers in that SmackDown locker room. You gotta wonder who is gonna step up next. It may not be Wes Lee after Dragunov gets done with him tonight. Immediately hot out of the get-go. Couple of lariats by the Mad Dragon. Wes Lee ever get the shoulder up. Don't count out Wes Lee. Former NXT Tag Team Champion, former NXT North American Champion as well. May not have found a lot of success here on SmackDown over the last year or so. But any given week, any given Friday, an opportunity for momentum to turn around, and tonight could be Wes Lee's night here in OKC. Beautiful tornado DDT. Taking down the Mad Dragon. Ilja Dragunov might thrive off pain, but that's not going to matter if he gets his bell rung. This is what Wes Lee's got to do. Stick and move and just try to stay on the Cruiserweight Champion, who will beat you down and beat you from pillar to post sometimes in that ring. Wes Lee with a beautiful tope suicida. The Mad Dragon down, but may not be out. Look at the combination offense by Lee on the outside. Wes Lee could be nearing the biggest victory of his SmackDown career tonight if this keeps up. He ain't throwing anything out there. He's throwing a couple of live bombs and doing nothing, I should say anything possible, to keep down the Cruiserweight Champion. Ilja Dragunov feeling the brunt of it. Wes Lee throwing him right into the barricade and breaking the count. Gotta believe Lee came in with a game plan tonight, knowing he had a huge opportunity Things breaking down into the aisleway. Wes Lee is not looking to see opportunity go up in smoke here tonight on SmackDown. Oh man, DDT on the outside, and Dragunov might have hit some of the concrete. See that gap between the steel and the padding, but Ilja Dragunov may have had his bell rung, or it might have just fired him up. The Mad Dragon coming alive. If you try to give Ilja Dragunov a battle, he will give you a war right back. And now sending Wes Lee back between the ropes. And the Cruiserweight Champion, oh wait a minute. He's got to catch Wes Lee if he wants to knock him down. There he goes. Combination strikes by the Cruiserweight Champion of the world. And Wes Lee may rue the day. He picked a fight tonight with Ilja Dragunov. Big time clothesline. Down goes Lee, but he's still alive. Wes Lee had some great offensive ringside, but Ilja Dragunov took that DDT and seemingly what would knock the normal man out, seemingly woke up the Mad Dragon. Ilja Dragunov is just a different human being inside of that ring. And he is showing why once more here tonight on SmackDown. Rebound lariat, and Wes Lee is looking up at the lights. And the champion still not even going for the pinfall when Wes Lee is already down. Wes Lee all kinds of dazed and confused and just getting sent for an amusement park ride over the top rope. Wes Lee took this thing to the outside earlier. Dragunov, maybe, oh wait a minute. JD McDonough ambushing Ilja Dragunov, and you heard a bell. Dragunov's gonna win this thing by disqualification. Well, what is JD McDonough doing out here? He had his opportunities, not once but twice, and he failed on both of them. Oh, McDonough going right after the Cruiserweight Champion again. Wes Lee's down at ringside, Ilja Dragunov getting ambushed. And the Irish Ace may have just sent one emphatic message that he's coming for the Cruiserweight Championship. Oh wait, Johnny Gargano's now out here. And Gargano looks to be saving the day for Ilja Dragunov. JD McDonough didn't see that coming. The whole shebang, Johnny Gargano taking down JD McDonough. Well, we went from a wrestling match between Wes Lee and Ilja Dragunov to a Pier 6 brawl between Gargano and McDonough. I mean, no personal beef from what I understand, but McDonough trying to make his presence felt tonight, and it looks like Johnny Wrestling wasn't going to stand for it. We told you the Cruiserweight division was heating up, potential challengers left and right, and we may be looking at a few of them here tonight on SmackDown. The road to WrestleMania doesn't slow down for anyone. And coming your way on Saturday, February 17th, live from State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, the superstars of Raw and SmackDown present Saturday night's main event. What twists and turns will take place in the ATL on the road to the grandest stage of them all? Find out on the 17th of February, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. Well, who is going to make their way to WrestleMania? We find out next week as the semifinals of the Dusty Cup kick off. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller qualifying earlier tonight. They will take on Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders next week here on SmackDown. And the other semifinal matchup featuring Chad Gable and Otis of the Alpha Academy as they are set to take on the Latino World Order Santos Escobar and Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. The winners of these two matches will meet in the finals at WrestleMania. A whole lot riding on the line next week here on SmackDown. We are back inside OKC, and Zoe Stark challenging the #1 contender for the Women's World Championship, Raquel Rodriguez, to a rematch from a number of weeks ago. Zoe looking to break out here on the blue brand. And of course, a victory over the #1 contender can certainly catapult her into superstar status on Friday nights. Raquel has been red hot as of late, and on the road to WrestleMania, she's not looking to cool off anytime soon.
And from Rio Grande Valley, Texas, Raquel Rodriguez.
Well, just in the last month alone here on SmackDown, Raquel has turned away Zoe Stark, which is the rematch we see here tonight. She's turned away Shotzi. She has taken down the EST Bianca Belair. But can she take down the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler? We will find out when Raquel meets Shayna on WrestleMania Sunday, March the 3rd. The Women's World Championship gonna be on the line as those two women wage war. Raquel, of course, winning the Elimination Chamber matchup back in Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. 3 superstars from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. Raquel, the last woman standing on that night, and certainly a deserving #1 contender for the Queen of Spades Championship. All remains to be seen what is going to happen at WrestleMania. Regardless of Raquel's momentum, it'll certainly be her toughest challenge to date when she gets to AT&T Stadium. Raquel's looking for a home state reception in Dallas, Texas, but Shayna Baszler looking to play spoiler to that homecoming. All remains to be seen what is going to happen when the title's on the line, but tonight for Raquel, it is about this one thing, it is about the same thing each and every time she has stepped foot in the ring over the last number of weeks, and that is keeping her momentum riding on the line. Zoe Stark, on the other hand, is just trying to find her way to take the next step here on SmackDown, level up on the blue brand. She joined SmackDown in the spring of last year and has really not found much success. She's been in the ring with Raquel on numerous occasions, just a number of weeks ago as well, and Zoe Stark believes she might have an opportunity to take down the #1 contender. Raquel's certainly not going to deny the altercation, the fight, if you will, between Zoe Stark and herself, and that leads us to this rematch here tonight in OKC. I'll tell you, we have seen Shayna and Raquel square down face to face already on the road to WrestleMania, and it is an intimidating sight. But I'll tell you one thing, Shayna has got to be wondering if she has meant her match. She was pushed to the limits by Bianca Belair at Armageddon as well as the Royal Rumble, and credit where it's due, Shayna Baszler seemingly getting better and better every defense, but her momentum just as red hot as Raquel Rodriguez. The playing field may be even at the show of shows. Nonetheless, Zoe Stark, beautiful missile dropkick to the #1 contender. Zoe would not have thrown out this opportunity tonight if she didn't believe in her confidence, if she didn't believe that she could take down the #1 contender. So far, as we mentioned with Raquel and Shayna at Mania, so far this matchup looks like an even playing field. Zoe Stark giving it her all against the #1 contender and looking for that to continue. Raquel down and out, and Zoe continuing to beat down the larger competitor. Definitely one of the most strongest in the WWE Women's Division today. Zoe Stark's got a little bit of more speed and agility on her side. A lot of strikes in the arsenal. She's got to use those to her advantage. Zoe's got to get stopped in her tracks. Raquel's trying to catch her. Oh, look at this. Inside cradle, Zoe Stark going for the finish here, trying to steal the victory over the #1 contender. Not just yet. Imagine if Raquel's momentum as of late came to a screeching halt by hands of that small package. Her confidence may have been rocked on the road to WrestleMania, just like her skull may have been off those double boots. Zoe going for the pinfall, not just yet. Another close call there by Zoe Stark. Each and every near fall, you gotta wonder if Zoe's confidence is growing larger because she's getting one step closer to the finish line, or if it's decreasing because she can't put Raquel away. All remains to be seen. There's the strength of Raquel that has brought her so much success as of late on SmackDown. Now once again, muscling up Zoe Stark. And into the pinfall. That may be all she wrote here tonight, not just yet. Raquel Rodriguez very well may have been the Women's World Champion today if it wasn't for Shayna Baszler. And at WrestleMania, if she hits this, she very well may be the champion to Hana Bomb. And that is it. Zoe Stark giving it her fight. Possibly her best fight against Raquel thus far, but the #1 contender is one step closer to the top of the mountain.
here is your winner, Raquel Rodriguez.
There ain't no surviving that Tejana bomb, but when Shayna Baszler is possibly on the receiving end of it at WrestleMania, only time will tell who is the better. Oh, wait a minute. Between these two women, the Women's World Champion Shayna Baszler and the #1 contender, Raquel Rodriguez. Another stare down here tonight between the champion and challenger. Oh, wait a minute. Zoe Stark ambushing Raquel from behind. Raquel was distracted and she just got her lights turned off with a Z360. Well, Zoe Stark threw out the challenge tonight. She might have come up short, but Shayna Baszler coming down here momentarily, taking the eye of the #1 contender off her game, and a second Z360 delivered. It may have been a ruse all along to stick it to the #1 contender. It is the grandest stage of them all, and it is coming your way in just 15 days. Saturday night, March the 2nd, Sunday night, March the 3rd, both live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It is WrestleMania, and as confirmed at the top of the hour, the Rated R Superstar Edge will meet the badass Bron Breakker in a first-time ever collision. It's a battle of spears, the past versus the future. Who is going to be the better man left standing at the show of shows? From Monday Night Raw, the World Tag Team titles are on the line as Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day meet Monday Night Raw's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners, Jay and Jimmy, the Usos. A #1 contender was crowned this past week, and now Liv Morgan runs it back with the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. She was embarrassed back in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Royal Rumble. Can Liv write a different story at WrestleMania? The gold is on the line. The King of Pro Wrestling, CM Punk. The King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, who truly is the best in the world. Nakamura set his target, and he gets his wish on WrestleMania Saturday. And of course, in the main event on Saturday night, it is the rematch that has been brewing since Survivor Series. The Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, the Ring General, Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And what about the action 24 hours later on Sunday night? It is no holds barred between the almighty Bobby Lashley and the Street Champ, Solo Sikoa. Hell has broken loose week in and week out. What to expect in Dallas, Texas? And you want to talk about chaos ensuing? Look no further than the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. His return last week on SmackDown, putting Randy Orton through the announce table. Well, we can confirm that Cody and the Viper will meet one-on-one on WrestleMania Sunday. We just saw the events that took place inside the squared circle. The win, lose, or draw, Raquel Rodriguez is going to make her way to WrestleMania. She will fight the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, for the Women's World Championship. And in the main event on Sunday night, the WWE Championship hangs in the balance as the Royal Rumble match winner, Kevin Owens, meets the Visionary, the Revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins. All of that action and more coming your way Saturday, March the 2nd, and Sunday, March the 3rd, live at WrestleMania. But we are not done with the action here tonight. Paycom Center sold out from pillar to post. OKC's getting a treat. The Rated R Superstar is live and in living color, and in your main event, Bron Breakker needs a tag team partner. Who will stand alongside the badass? We're going to find out in a number of moments as we are set for a main event tag team clash.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 249 pounds, Edge!
2 weeks ago, Bron Breakker beat down Ricochet at ringside, causing a double countout, a no finish in your main event. Edge made the save for the future of Flight, and ever since then, Bron Breakker has been infuriated at the Iconoclast. It is already well documented Breakker's thoughts on guys like Edge, hogging the spotlight, taking up positions for guys like Bron Breakker. And Edge making that save a few weeks ago only sent the badass over the edge. He threw out the challenge for WrestleMania. Edge accepted earlier this week, and now those two men on a collision course to AT&T Stadium.
And his partner from Paducah, Kentucky, weighing in at 190 pounds, Ricochet!
Well, we have witnessed the rise of Ricochet week in, week out, month after month here on Friday Night SmackDown. And if there's one thing we know about the future of Flight, he is not going to be a stepping stone for anybody. Bron Breakker tried to send the message off Ricochet's behalf a number of weeks ago. Edge made the save, but Ricochet, a man who can stand on his own 2 feet, and he ain't going to stand for Bron Breakker throwing his weight around here on SmackDown. So now tonight, the Rated R superstar Edge and the human highlight reel Ricochet come together to take out a common enemy in the badass Bron Breakker. But who will stand alongside Breakker? His choice, his decision. We're going to find out in moments. But first things first, the sirens heard round the world and loud and clear here in OKC. Meaner than evil and angrier than ever, Bron Breakker making his way down the aisle.
And from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Bron Breakker!
Listen, we have always gave credit to Bron Breakker. As tough as nails, and certainly going to be a main event player one day on SmackDown, but the facts are the facts, and every time Bron Breakker has found himself in that big fight feel, whether it be a championship match or just a high-profile main event, more often than not, Bron Breakker has come up on the defeated end ever since making his debut last March here on SmackDown. The young man's got a long way to go until he really fulfills his potential, and I'll tell you, WrestleMania can easily be a step in the right direction if Breakker can put his money where his mouth is. Oh man, well look who is going to stand alongside Breakker here tonight. A man who has had some recent issues with the Rated R superstar Edge. Edge defeated AJ Styles in that last chance matchup on the road to the Elimination Chamber. Looks like the US champion has not forgotten.
And representing the OC from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Well, you know, AJ Styles has not made many friends in recent months. Unless your name is Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows, Styles usually is not associating with you. But I guess a common enemy breeds very interesting tag team partners here tonight. The badass Bron Breakker alongside the phenomenal United States Champion AJ Styles. Well, this should be very interesting to see how this matchup plays out. As we mentioned, it was when Cody Rhodes was taken out of the Elimination Chamber by Randy Orton the following week, 48 hours before our trip to Miami, Florida. Edge met AJ Styles in that last chance matchup. Winner moved on to the chamber. Edge picked up the victory on that night. Looks like the United States Champion has not forgotten, but here we go in your tag team main event. Bron Breakker and Edge kicking things off. A little WrestleMania preview tonight in OKC. It'll be a first time ever one-on-one match at the Show of Shows, but they're pass crossing in the tag team way tonight, and Bron Breakker trying to come hot out of the gate, but does not want to get overzealous against the Hall of Famer. Edge has no problem teaching Bron Breakker a trick or two. And those lessons could begin right here tonight on SmackDown. Breakker wanted to throw his weight around, wanted to make a statement. The Rated R Superstar wasn't going to stand for it. And now Breakker finds himself on the receiving edge of the Rated R Superstar beatdown. Over the top rope, the Iconoclast better than ever here in OKC. You know, 2023 and the first half of 2024 so far, Edge was really had one goal in mind, and that was chasing the World Heavyweight Championship or even the WWE Championship on Raw, and he became a free agent. But Bron Breakker and his whole mindset, his whole situation, has now led Edge to a new goal, and that is teaching Bron Breakker a lesson in respect at WrestleMania. I don't think the badass gives a damn as Ricochet gets tagged in, and Breakker said, you know what? You can deal with Ricochet. That being AJ Styles, who takes out the knee. Phenomenal one, the United States champion, AJ Styles, getting tied up as he takes his eye off the ball. Cannot hesitate when you're in there with someone as quick as a cat, fast as lightning is the human highlight reel. Nice maneuver by Ricochet, right into the bridge. Only a 1 count that time, but Ricochet, somebody who is on the brink of great things here on Friday Night SmackDown. The end of 2023 picked up not 1 but 2 victories over the Apex Predator. Randy Orton may have come up short in defeat, but pushed the ring general Gunther to quite possibly his limits. Back at the Royal Rumble, the World Championship was on the line, and even though, again, Ricochet might have fell short, great performance inside the Elimination Chamber a number of weeks ago. Regardless of what has happened on the road to OKC tonight, Ricochet staring up at the lights moments ago thanks to that burning hammer by the United States champion. Now Bron Breakker looking to pick the scraps, pick it up right where he left off a number of weeks ago. There's Breakker and Ricochet in a main event that easily could have gone either way. And a great matchup, credit to the badass as well. He's giving Ricochet a fight, clean as a whistle all the way through until the last few moments where Breakker said, screw the victory, I want to send a message, and tried to use Ricochet to do so. Ricochet not looking to be a stepping stone, but tonight he may have no choice. Overhead throw into the cover. Edge breaking things up as we are still in the early going, and the Rated R Superstar ready to go pillar to post in the means of victory. Especially on the road to WrestleMania, momentum riding on the line. Breakker and Edge looking to get the one up over each other before their singles clash in 15 days. One and only Ricochet as well as AJ Styles not yet finding their roads to WrestleMania, but it could start here tonight. Beautiful springboard moonsault. Ricochet taking down Bron Breakker. Breakker's now staring up at the lights, and Ricochet's gonna make him pay. Back and forth into the moonsault. Nobody does it like the one and the only. But unfortunately, it's not enough to keep Bron Breakker down. Former 2-time NXT champion, tough as nails, is the man who wears the red tonight. But will it be enough to get through Ricochet? And now the Rated R Superstar Edge, who has been tagged in, and we're seeing a little double team action out of Edge and Ricochet here. Almost shades of Edge and Rey Mysterio, former WWE Tag Team Champion so many years ago on SmackDown. AJ Styles getting tagged in. We are back where we started between Edge and AJ on the road to the Elimination Chamber. Those two men, not just in that last chance matchup a number of weeks ago, but plenty of history between the Phenomenal One and the Iconoclast. Main event SummerSlam back in 2022 for the WWE Championship. Edge was the victor on that night, as he was last month. AJ Styles is not forgotten. And Edge looking for a repeat of history as Styles looks to rewrite it. But right now, Styles on the receiving end of some brutal beatdowns by the Rated R Superstar, and he follows it up with an execution. Into the cover, but Bron Breakker says, not tonight. Not on my watch. The badass not looking to see defeat on his road to WrestleMania. But Edge already had enough of Breakker, sending him off the apron, and the Rated R Superstar is fired up. Breakker may not be the legal competitor, but Edge interested in sending his own message. A spear at ringside, laying out the badass. And now a tag made of the one and only Ricochet going after Styles. Styles with the takedown. Business pick it up in your tag team main event. Paycom Center, OKC getting a treat. All these SmackDown All-Stars duking it out in your main event 15 nights before WrestleMania weekend begins. And now it's the one and only with his sights on AJ at ringside. Over the top with the corkscrew. Never underestimate the future of flight. Ricochet has beaten some of the best of them, and he's done it with his own way, with his own high-flying abilities. Unique as ever, and now Ricochet with a big-time tornado DDT. AJ Styles does not know what hit him. And here comes Ricochet again! All over the ring tonight is the one and only. AJ might have survived, but you can't convince me that damage hasn't been done. I'll tell you, Monday Night Raw's got an all-star tag team match tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event, with CM Punk teams with Kevin Owens to take on Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth freaking Rollins. But tonight, SmackDown side, 4 superstars laying everything in the kitchen sink inside the squared circle. Ricochet off the knee, into the cover. AJ Styles survives, but a close call for the one and only. Now going to the top. What is he going for here? Oh my goodness! Ricochet, realizing we are on the road to WrestleMania, willing to put it all on the line, went for that double rotation moonsault, and he crashed and burned. Man, oh man, this is what SmackDown on the road to the grandest stage of them all is all about. We have got a treat in the main event. Unfortunately for Ricochet, tried to up the ante on the high-risk maneuvers, and it did not work out. And now Bron Breakker, we said it before, we'll say it again, truly looking to pick the scraps, pick the bones of the one and only. The badass with his eyes locked on an already wounded prey. Ricochet felt this maneuver at ringside a few weeks ago, and now feels it between the ropes. Press slam into the cover, but Edge gonna break things up. Man, if it weren't for the Rated R Superstar, this thing might have been done and over with, and it could have been over with that time had Ricochet not avoided disaster. Breakker went for the spear, to no avail. Ricochet, who's been in this match for a number of minutes at this point. Oh, wait a minute. Breakker's in the corner, getting cut in half by Ricochet. He's got to be feeling a little bit dazed, but Ricochet gonna keep turning those wheels. Man, I don't know how Ricochet does it. I assume so used to those high-risk maneuvers, and obviously they don't always work out, but that double rotation moonsault was something else. Back to the outside goes the badass. Open your eyes, because Ricochet's in the drop zone. The one and only, showing why he has earned that title. Former North American champion in NXT, former Cruiserweight champion, former United States champion and tag team champion. Ricochet's had his hands in a lot of cookie jars over the years. Bron Breakker still into this matchup, and I don't know how. Breakker's been on the receiving end of some of Ricochet as well as Edge's best shot, but now the Rated R Superstar has been tagged back in, and maybe the Hall of Famer has got another trick up his sleeve. Edge and Breakker getting a preview of each other on the road to WrestleMania. They meet one-on-one in 15 days on WrestleMania Saturday. Saturday night, March the 2nd, Sunday night, March the 3rd. We'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time at AT&T Stadium, Dallas, Texas. It's the end of a season here in the WWE. It is WrestleMania. The stars will be out, and everything is going to be on the line. It's certainly a meeting that could change the course of history for either Edge or Bron Breakker. A victory on the Showcase of the Mortals usually means you're propelled into superstardom. Middle buckle. A spear that lands flush, but Breakker, tough as nails, able to fight out of it. Counter that time. And Breakker once again muscling down Edge. Breakker's got to start getting victories in these big-time matches if he wants to live up to his own words. WrestleMania will be a completely different story, but tonight certainly could be a step in the right direction. Gotta wonder what's going through Breakker's head. It's gonna be his first WrestleMania. Obviously, Edge has had plenty of trips to the show of shows, has main evented on that stage before. Only time will tell what is gonna happen when these two men meet one-on-one. Tonight it's a tag team occasion, which bleeds a completely different strategy. It may be a completely different story as Breakker goes for the pinfall to no avail. Oh no. Press slam again. Edge in trouble. Oh! There's another trick up his sleeve. Edge goes behind. Stack it up meaner than evil. Bron Breakker could be all, not just yet. What did we say earlier? Leaving it all on the line. That's exactly what these four superstars are doing here tonight on SmackDown. Tonight, or I should say tomorrow night, we'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Saturday night's main event. But tonight, OKC getting a treat as Edge takes out AJ Styles and then takes out Bron Breakker. Tag made of the one and only. Springboard, another Acai moonsault into the cover, or an already wounded badass. And that's gonna do it. A huge victory as Ricochet sticks it to Bron Breakker, just a few weeks removed from that brutal ringside beatdown. Well, when Breakker shakes the cobwebs off, he's gonna have to go back to the drawing board on the road to WrestleMania, but tonight belongs to the Rated R superstar and the one and only.
Here are your winners, Edge and Ricochet.
A phenomenal performance, but unfortunately the phenomenal AJ Styles and the badass Bron Breakker are not the duo to take down these two all-stars. Join us tomorrow night, live in Atlanta at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, as the road to WrestleMania continues.
Face on when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise if you hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'm a ride.